Live. Female entrepreneurs from across Africa will meet in Johannesburg this week. The conference, hosted by Lionesses of Africa, will bring together 200 businesswomen to share their stories of success and, of course, to inspire one another. To tell us more about this, we joined in our studios here in Johannesburg by Melanie Hawken. She is the founder and the CEO of Lionesses of Africa. Melanie, good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for your time. Now, firstly, tell us more about Lionesses of Africa. What does it do?
Well, we're a network of women entrepreneurs for women entrepreneurs. So we have over 200,000 women entrepreneurs in our network in 36 African countries. We'll be at about 250,000 by the end of this year. And our entire philosophy is that we all know it's hard enough being a woman entrepreneur anywhere in the world, but here in Africa there are very specific challenges. So how best to deal with those challenges? Get women together to share how they build their businesses and their brands, to inspire one another, because let's be honest, as I say, it can be tough. And sometimes you need a little inspiration from those who have been there, done it, got the t-shirt, built the businesses, and know how to make it work here in Africa. And therefore bringing women together in one community, no matter where you are in Africa, means you can share ideas, you can bounce ideas around, you can collaborate, and you can do business with one another.
But talk to us about the challenges that are still faced by female entrepreneurs, specifically at home.
Yeah, look, there are a number of challenges, and I think talk to any woman entrepreneur here in Africa, and here particularly in South Africa, and they'll tell you they fall into one of two categories. Either it's how do I become an entrepreneur and get the balance right with family, with relationship, with community, how do I manage all of that? The other thing is, how do you get access to finance and access to markets? You can have a great business idea, and making it work is the tough thing. So how do you get the support that you need to be able to take the business idea and turn it into something sustainable and something that can grow and employ other women and other people? And that's the trick.
Yeah, and I believe this conference also aims at responding to such challenges as well.
Absolutely. Not only are we bringing together some of the most successful women entrepreneurs from across the African continent, they're coming in from 17 different African countries, and they're women right at the top of their game. They're building multi-billion-dollar companies and brands. They are globally recognized. They know how to build social entrepreneurship models. They've got so much to share, and at the end of the day, that's what we're about. It's about sharing great information and insights so that we can all become better women entrepreneurs at the end of it. And how better to do that than to get everyone together in one conference?
Yeah, no, we do need to draw some inspiration at the end of the day, especially from such successful women. So they're coming from 17 different African countries?
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly from some of those key centers where women's entrepreneurship is a really big deal right now. So look at Nigeria, a really vibrant economy, some amazing women entrepreneurs there building great brands and global brands, importantly. We need to look at countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. They're countries that women entrepreneurs are really shining, and they're building companies that can go global. And I think here in South Africa, one of the biggest challenges, we meet a lot of women entrepreneurs. We have a large number of them in our network. 25% of the women entrepreneurs in our Lionesses of Africa community are South African, but they don't go global. They haven't quite got it right.
What is prohibiting them from going global?
Look, there are lots of different challenges. It's hard. It's hard to get the right idea. It's hard to scale. There are some barriers to entry in key industry sectors. But what's important is if you have the right idea at the right time and the right support and the right business model, you can do it. One of the reasons we're partnering with really smart companies here in South Africa, like Standard Bank, like Liberty, like GE, and others, is because we need them to be the support mechanism to help them to get to where they need to be. So, for example, with the Standard Bank Group, we're developing things like a Lionesses of Africa accelerator for women in business who want to take their business to the next level and potentially take it globally. Now, to do that, they need specialist help and they need specialist support. And we're bringing together an ecosystem of amazing people that can actually help those women on their journey. So hopefully we're going to make it easier.
So hopefully things will get better. They slide to the end of the tunnel, I believe.
Will, absolutely. That. And again, it comes down to if women cooperate and do business with women, and we bring together a powerful community with the right ecosystem players, anything is possible.
All right. Now, the theme for the conference, powering a new era of women's entrepreneurship in Africa. Talk to us about the theme.
I'm a great believer that we have all the talent, we have great business ideas, and they're being driven by a new generation of young millennials. These are women aged between 18 and 35. They are developing innovative new ways of doing business. They're developing new business ideas. They don't think conventionally in the way that business has been done, and therefore they're exciting. And I genuinely think if we can encourage this new generation of young women with business ideas, and we give them the right support structures to be able to take those business ideas and turn them into genuinely sustainable businesses that can grow and that can go global from the get-go, because a lot of these young women actually think global from the minute they come up with a business concept. They're not like my generation where, you know, we had very specific ideas of what we wanted to do. They say, let's go global from the get-go. They're social media savvy, they're connected already to a global world, and they want a part of it. So we need to be able to look at how we support and encourage this new generation of exciting young women entrepreneurs from the time they're leaving school and university to literally developing and building their own companies. Instead of thinking they have to go out there and join a corporate, create something of your own.
So you're looking for new innovation, I believe. They need to think out of the box, like you say.
They do, and there's room for that. There is an absolute opportunity for young women with great ideas and business savvy to be able to genuinely create businesses that are sustainable and that can go global. And it does. It takes an innovative approach. They need to look at ways of doing things differently. But it's absolutely there for the taking. And we're helping them by bringing them together in a community with highly established women entrepreneurs to say, this is how they've done it. Now, how do you want to do it? How do you want to do it differently? And these are the support mechanisms that we can bring to help you get there.
But what business opportunities are there for women?
There are lots of them out there. Look, at the end of the day, everybody needs businesses, business services, everybody needs product, everyone needs innovation, everyone needs social solutions. Like anywhere in the world, entrepreneurs are driving economies. They are driving opportunities. And I think women entrepreneurs, they've got the potential to be able to not just create, you know, the next best product or the next best service or a different way of doing things. They can actually innovate to make society a better place. They can become social entrepreneurs. There are so many different ways of taking an idea and turning it into a sustainable business. And that's often the trick. How do you help them to get there?
And the market is available, I believe.
Yeah, look, Africa is one of the most exciting marketplaces right now. Look at the rest of the world. They're actually trying to break into the Africa marketplace. They're seeing it as a really exciting growth and development opportunity. What's really interesting is that here in South Africa, here in other African countries, we're not seeing it in the same way. Why should we be asking the rest of the world to bring those products, those services, those innovations into the African continent when we can actually create things ourselves? And that's the role of entrepreneurs, and I genuinely believe it's the role of women entrepreneurs to start filling some of those gaps and actually creating the products and the services and the social entrepreneurship innovations that are needed right here at home, and then doing business cross-border. There is so much opportunity for us here in South Africa to do business with our neighbours, and women entrepreneurs are actually very keen to do business with one another cross-border given the opportunity. They just need to start talking to one another and actually looking at the power of collaboration. And again, that's why we created Lionesses of Africa. We create the community where women entrepreneurs can actually collaborate cross-border. They can get to meet their counterparts, whether it be Nigeria, Tanzania, you know, Tunisia, because we go right up to North Africa.
So we're focusing on female entrepreneurs. Is there really a difference between a male entrepreneur and a female entrepreneur?
Look, entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs. I think what is different is that women have different challenges because they are trying to balance so many different dynamics in their lives. Raising families, educating children, maintaining relationships, looking after community. They say invest in a woman entrepreneur and you invest in so many more people along the chain, because they invest in community, they invest in education, they invest in family in a different way to their male counterparts. And that's just fact. So if you actually just look at the extended value chain of investing in a woman entrepreneur, it is much longer.
The capabilities are there, the abilities are there, and they can multitask. I mean, the fact that you're mentioning having to take care of families, doing business, they can also multitask.
That's kind of part of the DNA, isn't it? And
it certainly is.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it different. I think women are genuinely used to having to juggle every day of their lives. Bringing in the entrepreneurship piece into that juggling act is just one additional challenge. But women do it every single day.
But is it really the attitude that we get from our male counterpart? I mean, there's this perception of looking down on women, especially in terms of business. It's always a predominantly a male sector.
Look, I think there's definitely catching up to do. I think there are certain industry sectors and certain business sectors today that are still very male dominated.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if women want to change that, they have to create the right sort of businesses. They have to get out there and actually make opportunities happen. Entrepreneurs, by their very nature, go out there and make things happen.
Yeah.
And they can't wait for things to come to them. And I think the challenge is, yeah, there are going to be some industry sectors and business sectors that are tough because traditionally they have been male dominated. Doesn't mean to say that can't change. And look, anywhere across Africa, there are women entrepreneurs that are genuinely changing complete industry sectors. I only have to look across the border in a place like Zimbabwe and see an amazing woman entrepreneur like Divine Ndlakula from Securico, who is actually coming to the conference. She's one of our keynote speakers.
Oh, okay.
And she has changed the security industry in an entire country. And now, amazingly, outside of government, she's the highest employer in the private sector of women. Now, that's a game changer. And that's a game changer who literally took on a traditionally male-dominated sector and said, why not? Why can't I come in and actually compete in that sector?
Yeah, but the inequalities are still there.
They are, but the only way we can change them is to have more women entrepreneurs that are successful, that are prepared to be game-changing.
We must show them.
Yeah,
we must show them what we're capable of.
and I think, again, that's the reason we created the conference. Bring enough amazing women entrepreneurs together that are successful, that are doing it, that are breaking down barriers, and you can inspire the next generation. I think that's what's exciting.
All right. Talk to us about the conference. It is a day-long event. Tell us more about the program.
Yeah, well, as I say, we're a great believer at Lionesses of Africa that the power of storytelling and sharing experiences and insights is actually what makes a difference. If I can inspire another woman entrepreneur because I can say, this is how I did it, this is how I got over these challenges, and this is what you can do to pass the baton down to the next generation. We want to bring really inspirational women together in one place that have done that. They've, over the last 25, 30 years, have built incredible businesses and brands globally. They've done it across the borders. They have changed industry sectors. We need them to say, this is how we did it, and to share that. The power of networking and the power of inspiration. Put the two things together and you have a powerful conference.
Oh, no, certainly. Well, Melanie, that's where you're going to leave it for this morning, but thank you so much and good luck with the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. There you have it. That was Melanie Hawken. She's the founder and the CEO of Lionesses of Africa, talking to us about the upcoming conference that will host inspirational female entrepreneurs, like she was mentioning some of them, from across the African continent.